So, college basketball officially started last night, and for the most part, I'm only for the most part going to watch women's college basketball. There's a few men's college players I'm looking forward to watching. Um, Derek Lively, Derek Whitehead at Duke. Those are two I'm looking forward to watching at Duke. Um, we all know Derek Whitehead's out now, recovering from his broken foot, and John Shire basically said he's not sure what the timetable is for Derek Whitehead actually joining back with the team and making his debut for us Duke. Also, I noticed Derek Lively didn't play. I'm not sure to why he didn't play, but those are like the main two guys for us Duke that I would watch. I would be watching for us Duke this season. And just to see how John Shire does in his first season. You know, it's the Shire era now. I want to see how the players respond to him. This is his first recruiting class, so I want to see how that goes. Um, Jeremy Roach, I'm ready to see him take another step forward. Last year he played pretty well. You know, this year's the year. We need him to take another step forward and kind of really lead the team being the point guard. Um, Blake's Blake's, I hope to see him get more playing time. I did see that he did play in their opener. So I look forward to seeing him get more playing time. He only played like trash time basically last season. So hopefully he's actually a rotation player this year. Um, UNC, gonna be watching them for Caleb Love and RJ RJ Davis, Leaky Black, Armando Baycott, just to see what they're doing with UNC. Hubert Davis did a great job with UNC last year. Um, so, with them basically returning all their players, I would like to see how far does UNC go this year. Kansas doesn't have the same team as last year. They don't have Ocha Abachi. They don't have Brown, Christian Brown. So Kansas still gonna be a force because they still had Jalen Wilson. I believe they also got MJ Walker. Um, so Kansas still gonna be a force, but I don't have them Final Four bound. That's just personally me just assessing their team so far. John Calipari and Kentucky, he got a lot of good pieces. Um, he got Chris Livingston. He got Oscar Tshiebwe. You know, not as I'm saying he's gonna be Defensive Player of the Year and Player of the Year for the SEC. He's out. I think Coach Calipari said he had surgery for his hip. I believe that's what he said. Don't quote me, but um, Kentucky has a lot of young players that John Calipari could kind of switch in between with. So Kentucky's going to be a team. I kind of agree with Coach Calipari when he said that they just got to figure out about not leaving the corners open for a player to have a wide open three. I can definitely agree with that. Um, Jacob Toppman. Jacob Toppman's going to be a force for UConn this year. Um, Lance Ware. They're both showing that they can do more than just rebound the ball. They're pretty athletic guys, but the offense is now starting to show, especially with Jacob Toppin. It's really starting to show more, like to the point that he can shoot a three. So that's good. That's gonna help you. It's gonna help Kentucky in the long run. Um, other like big name freshmen to watch for. Um, Cam Whitmore, as far as Villanova, he's out right now because he had thumb surgery, but I definitely will be watching Cam Whitmore for us Villanova. Um, he's definitely gonna do some things. He's definitely gonna put Villanova back on the map, and they have him projected as a top 5, top 10 pick as far as the draft. So you know, it's not too many guys that for me to Jarius Walker, far as University of Houston, he's gonna go and you know he's gonna make a name for himself at Houston, University of Houston. Um, a lot of these big name guys, as far as the freshmen, as far as college basketball, they're predicted to be one and done. So we'll see how that goes with some of these players. Arkansas got some good players. You got Anthony Black, you got Nick Smith. Those are like two. Like Nick Smith is a projected top 5 pick in the draft. So we gonna see what he does this season. Um, Anthony Black is a highlight machine. I think he's gonna be on a lot of NBA teams' radar by the time the season's over with and leading toward the draft. Um, Alabama, Alabama gets Javon Cornerly back after him injuring his knee. So see how he returns with that. They got Jaden Hardy. See how he does off the bench. They're going to be forced to be reckoned with in the SEC also. Aside from that, it ain't too many more players that, like, as far as men's college basketball, I'm like, I gotta watch them. But salute to Juwan Howard, his son Jet Howard, and Hunter Dickerson. They balling as far as University of Michigan. They're balling. They put up some good numbers. I'm probably not really gonna focus in on men's college basketball too. We probably get close to like the big name matchups or like the NCAA tournament when you got to do your brackets. That's probably like when I really like hone in as far as that, and then as far as like when we get closer to the draft, that's really a lot of times when I focus in on college basketball as far as the man. Salute the Penny Hardaway getting 2023 5-star Mikey Williams to commit there. Like Penny Hardaway has gotten some big names to sign it. Like he just had James Wiseman. You had Amani Bates before he transferred. So like I don't know if what their connection is, if they have a connection, or just Mikey Williams enjoyed that visit going to Memphis. But I think that's a good look for him. It's definitely a good look for him. I would like to see how he develops as a player. We know all the hype that Mikey Williams has around him, as far as him and the hype and the social media. But when Mikey Williams goes to Memphis and is being coached by Penny Hardaway day in, day out, will it help improve his game? We know Mikey can go out there and score 20 plus a night. In college, he's not going to be asked to do that. He's going to have other great players around him. But, like, we know he can pass. We know he can shoot. The defensive part is Mikey Williams going to hone in and work on his defensive game. Yeah, he's had a couple of highlight blocks, cool. But college basketball, he's gonna have to defend or he's going to get cooked. All the top players go through that process of defense in college is not the same as defense played in high school. You can kind of more so sag off with high school. College, you don't guard. Somebody blows past you, easy, easy bucket to the basket or pass to the corner three. That's just how that works for college basketball. But I expect Mikey Williams to have a great season playing under Penny Hardaway. I believe J.J. Taylor's also coming to Memphis also with Mikey Williams. So I'd like to see who else in that 2023 class is Penny Hardaway going to get to join J.J. and Mikey Williams, you know. But salute to Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway's been like doing this number as far as getting like top rated recruits. I kind of thought Mikey Williams would have went to either like UCLA, seeing that he's from, you know, that area, you know. So I'm kind of surprised he's going like far and going to Memphis, but this might be the best thing for him. Um, Women's college basketball, they had a lot of good performances opening night. Ashley Jonas for Iowa State, she dropped 28 and what was it, 28 and 13. She decided to come back. She could have went in the WNBA draft last year and potentially been a top 10 pick. But no, Ashley Jonas decided to come back to Iowa State. So I expect her to be a double-double machine. I expect her to get Iowa State high as far as the NCAA bracket, as far as the women. I expect them to go at least Sweet 16, probably. Possibly can go further. It just really depends which teams and which like brackets are they in. Um, Angel Reese transferring from University of Maryland, going to play for Cam Mulkey at LSU. She dropped 33 in her LSU debut. Like, Angel Reese is now the focal point of LSU as far as playing under Cam Mulkey. I think that's a better situation for Angel Reese than it was in Maryland. You know, don't get me wrong. When Angel Reese played for Maryland, she had a lot of great games, but I think there was a lot of games that Angel Reese should have got the ball, and she would have been dominant in her matchup, and that wasn't the game plan with Brenda Freeze, because she still had Ashley Owasu and you had Diamond Miller, so they weren't making them a predominantly post-bound team. Cool. Um, she goes to LSU. She's playing for Hall of Fame coach Cam Mulkey, and she's putting up the numbers. I think the dynamic duo for LSU now is going to be Angel Reese in the post and Flau'Jae Johnson playing the two guard, which is a freshman. Like, Flau'Jae can get in the lanes and pass the ball. She had a couple of spectacular passes during their opening game. I like to see offensively what Flau'Jae can do. You know, I don't expect her to score 20 points a game. That's not going to happen as far as Flau'Jae Johnson, as far as like her freshman year. But she can average a good 10, 10, 5, and 4 easily. Easily. And then you still have Alexis Morris. So y'all had some pieces. You got several transfers. Qatari Poole off of LSU's bench is probably six women of the year for them. Six women of the year. Like she dropped 14 off the bench in her LSU debut. So if she could continue scoring like that, I see great things for LSU as far as the SEC. But the only catch to that is you gotta go against South Carolina. And I have South Carolina to repeat far as champions again. You know, something crazy and drastic would happen for South Carolina and Don Stanley not to repeat as the champions. Like South Carolina brings back their whole team. They bring back their whole team minus what Destiny Henderson because she got drafted in the WNBA. She now plays for the Indiana Fever. You bring back your whole team. You lost Raven Johnson last year to her knee injury. Now she's your starting point guard this year. You bring in freshman Tasia Cooper and Ashlyn Watkins. You know, you bring back um, Fegan, you bring back Hall, you bring back basically your starting five minus Henny. So South Carolina has no reason not to repeat as the champions. No reason not to repeat. Um, Sanaya Fegan, I think, is going to be the X factor off the bench for South Carolina. Um, like this is high praise for Sanaya Fegan from Don Stanley. Don Stanley said that Sanaya Fegan is the best post player that South Carolina has. Now, mind you, they have the national player of the year and defensive player of the year in Aaliyah Boston. But Don Stanley says that because Sanaya Fegan is very raw in her skill set. So, South Carolina has no reason not to repeat. If they don't repeat and win, it's a bust season for them. It's a bust season for them. You know, Don Stanley loses Zaya Cook, Victoria Saxton, Bree Hall, Aaliyah Boston all this season. So, what better fitting way for them to end the season, go into the WNBA, than to win another championship, and then a lot of them are going to go to the WNBA. Aaliyah Boston is projected to be the number one pick. Zaya Cook is probably a top 5, top 10 pick. You know, that's just how I see things so far as this season. Um, UConn is still always in the mix, even without Paige Buchers this season, out with her knee injury. They got AZ Fudd. Now, here's the kicker with AZ Fudd. AZ Fudd is going to have a spectacular sophomore season, but she's still dealing with a foot injury. So I'm wondering how come AZ Fudd didn't get her foot fixed during the summer, or how that worked, because you're getting Aubrey Griffin back, who's been out far as her back. Um, you get Caroline Dersham back. You get Dorka back, and she injured her wrist and she's back. So I'm just trying to understand the logic and why AZ didn't get her foot fixed. Granted, she probably wouldn't be able to start the season. I can understand that. But if that was the case, she should have got it done immediately once the season ended. Maryland looked pretty good in their first game. They played George Mason. It was a cakewalk of a game for them. Diamond Miller only played 9 minutes. Now I'm not sure, but Diamond Miller went out that game. I don't know if she injured her foot or her ankle or her knee, but she only played 9 minutes and she never came back. Um, Lavender Briggs, who's the Florida transfer, looked pretty good. She looked pretty good playing. Um, I know she still has the tape on like her calf like area, but aside from that, she looked good. She looked good as far as like her movements and everything. She looked good. Um, it's really they're gonna go as far as Lavender Briggs and Diamond Miller and should not Cheyenne Sellers take them. But y'all had Berna Freeze as your coach, so y'all we know y'all are gonna do great in the Big East. So y'all got a major test coming up Friday because you play South Carolina. I definitely don't expect Maryland to beat South Carolina, but I expect them to put up a good front, you know, and not just get washed. Hopefully, Diamond Miller is healthy enough to play, and I want to see what Lavender Briggs does against better competition. Um, Cause she put up numbers at Florida before she got injured, and then she ended up transferring to Maryland. So, want to see if she can get back to that. Cheyenne Sellers, she she's the defensive one for Maryland off the bench. I expect her to carry that again into the season. You know, that's how I expect that to go. Um, Duke, Duke looked pretty decent too. I did watch their game. Carol Lawson got them playing. Celeste Taylor, um, Cheyenne Day Wilson. You know, I think her and freshman Ashlyn Jackson are going to be the one-two punch off the bench for Duke this season. Um, they get Jordan Oliver is available to play. She's a starting point guard this year. Um, Definitely Cheyenne Day Wilson's what Carol Lawson needs from her is definitely going to change. I think they have more offensive weapons this season. So she's not going to be asked to score how she was having to score last year. I was impressed with what I saw with Ashlyn Jackson in the time that I saw her play. The rebounding, the defending, the passing. You know, I watched Ashlyn Jackson play in the McDonald's All American game and the Jordan Brand Classic, you know. And I said, oh, she's a baller. She's going to be a great addition to Carol Lawson and Duke. I just want to see how that works with them playing with some real competition, though. I watched part of Notre Dame's game. I just wanted to see what Olivia Miles was doing in that game. And I wanted to see KK Bransford, who's the freshman for Notre Dame, just to see how that was going. Olivia Miles is a player you gotta watch. You gotta watch. She is one of those point guards that you never know. She can drop a triple double any night. You gotta watch her stat lines. They're almost triple doubles every night. She's definitely out there balling. That's just what it is. Noelle Ivy definitely has a pretty solid core. Dar, Mabry, the third sister of the Mabry sisters, you know, she's a bucket. Like she's scrappy. I thought Marina Mabry, the middle sister, was scrappy. Nah, Dar's like scrappy too. I see how that works with y'all. Being from Jersey, I see it now. Um, but y'all are gonna go as far as Dara and Olivia Miles and Citron take y'all. I think as long as everybody stays healthy, y'all will be fine. I think that's how that's gonna work for y'all. That'll be how that works. UNC. I'm going to watch out for Deja Kelly. I expect Deja Kelly to have another solid scoring season. You know, her freshman year, she did her numbers. You know, she's only going to get better. She's only going to get better. Like, she put up solid numbers against South Carolina, too. I think it was South Carolina. It was either South Carolina or UConn when they played them. So, she's a bucket. She's a bucket. Um, Oregon. Oregon's a team to watch with Chance Gray. I want to see what Chance Gray does as far as Oregon. Um, it's sad that Sedona Prince isn't going to be able to play this season. You know, the elbow injury. She's going to focus on her health to be able to have a WNBA career, so I understand that. Um, I'm going to watch to see what London does as far as UCLA point guard freshman, and see what Kiki Rice does being there too. Salute to her on getting that Jordan Jordan Brand NIL deal. That's major. Um, I'm pretty sure it's UConn's Anaya Patterson. Definitely want to see what she brings to UConn. Ice Brady's out for the season. She injured her knee. I thought Ice Brady was definitely going to be a major part in what UConn did prior to the knee injury. Um, Tennessee's going to be a team to look out for. Y'all getting Jordan Horston back from being out with the elbow injury. Y'all got Rakia Jackson, the transfer from Mississippi State. And Tamari Key was already dropping double doubles, so y'all definitely are going to be a force to be reckoned with the three-headed monster of y'all. As long as all three of y'all stay healthy, I think y'all go far. And then y'all got some other players back off y'all bench. So, it's a lot of talent as far as women's college basketball. It's just the fact of watching all the games. Caitlin Clark, we know she's going to put up crazy numbers this year. But it doesn't matter if her team doesn't go far as the NCAA tournament. I'm sorry, it was the same thing with Sabrina Ionescu. You know, if your team ain't putting up like big, putting up wins when it matters, you dropping triple doubles and hitting these crazy shots and stuff. It don't matter if your team ain't winning. That's just the truth of the matter with that. Um, I don't even like who else is there besides Caitlin Clark for us Iowa that really matters. It was a big last year that she was putting up some numbers, but I can't think of anybody else. Um, Women's college basketball is just so many talented players that it's like, oh, Stanford. How can we forget about y'all? Haley Jones, Fran Bellamy, Cameron Brink. Y'all are gonna go far as long as y'all stay together and nobody gets injured. Um, Fran Bellamy, I don't understand why she's not playing more. I don't understand it, you know. But hey, I'm not Tara Vanderbilt, so I can't really say. But I know Haley Jones and Cameron Brink will go out there and play their hearts out. Cameron Brink just got to stay out of foul trouble. That's really all for her. That's really all it comes down to. But the thing that makes me mad for us, um, the the scheduling for us, the women's games, a lot of times they're scheduled to start about the same time as each other. So it's like I gotta pick and choose which game I'm going to watch. I hate that. Um, Unless they're like ESPN games where it's like I could watch whatever game I'm gonna watch and then go back and watch the next game. Because that's pretty much what I did with opening day of college basketball. I pretty much watched whatever game I started with and then the next game and then tune into whatever game. And if I missed it, go back to watch the game. But women's college basketball has been very exciting for the first day. Um, we're gonna see far as the men. I don't even know. I'm assuming UConn's the favorite to win. I don't know like who the other teams to the favorite. I know South Carolina's the favorite as far as the women again. And UConn and some of these other teams, Stanford, are going to be in the running to try to stop them, but don't know how that's going to work. Um, Maryland's first test is South Carolina on Friday. You know, the season really doesn't kick off until the main teams start playing each other. And then you can kind of see where they're at for our their teams and how it's going to dictate how the rest of the seasons are going to go for these teams. But I like what I've seen so far with opening day. And then, yeah, like I said, Friday UMD versus South Carolina. I think UConn plays their first game, I believe, Thursday. I want to see how they're going to play. They were blowing people out for their exhibition games, so we're going to see how that goes. But, yeah, I'm going to be doing this and talking about college basketball, the main players, the teams to look out for, and the big matchups and how I predict they're going to go from now on.